Зараз буде огляд матчу, в якому зіграв Джо Хіггінс і Лао Хаотін. Джо Хіггінс 10-й в рейтингу, Хаотін 18-й. Грається турнір Ісландія Open. Четвертий раунд турніру. Мають за вихід 1/4 фіналу. Також на цьому турнірі грав Тімі Нух, Лапан Сергашин, Кім Джин Ху, Джет Трам, Шон Мерфі, Жеб Лісовський, Алі Картер, Керрі Вілсон. Так, матч грається з 7 фреймів. Так, початок першого фрейму. Джо Хіггінс забиває червоний шар в середню лузу. Вихід на розовий. Джо Хіггінс набирає 63 очка, вихід на чорний, забиває його праву ближню лузу. Вихід на червоний шар, Джо Хіггінс помиляється, виграє перший фрейм, де в цьому матчі з рахунком 1-0.
This half of the draw, John Higgins is the only top 16 player. Looking tonight to reach ranking event quarter-final number 137.
I think John was right when he mentioned Lyu Haotian, how he kind of, amongst all the promising players from Asia, he sometimes does go under the radar, but he is very good. And as Dave said, he has a win against O'Sullivan. He kind of difficult had to weigh up because see him walk off the table, you wouldn't necessarily know if he'd won or lost. Not many emotions. Even when he beat O'Sullivan, there wasn't even a glimmer, really. He just won the match. It's like another day at the office for him. Of course, beating John Higgins, especially here in Scotland, would be a big deal for him, but he's a tough read, you know. He just plays well. He just keeps himself to himself. He's quiet. Got a good all-round game as well. It's not easy to assess what his particular strengths and weaknesses are. But he can certainly play. Awkward really with the red towards the right middle, just to know how this is going to go, because neither player can risk leaving it. Possible plant to right middle here. No, he looked at it and changed his mind. Whether it's a plant or John's looking at the two reds onto the red near the pocket, it's on plant in off combo this. That's what he tried rather than the direct plant. Someone found a way of knocking the brown in, which was not really anyone's bingo card as to what would happen there. Brown going in.
Beat Joe Perry to qualify. Has beaten Jackson Page and Lyu Haotian here this week in Edinburgh. Higgins only lost one frame his first two matches, but then the battle with Ricky Warren last night ended quarter to one. Well, the Reds down in bulk just creating this little stalemate here.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many Reds that you could leave. Red near the middle is still there. Like you say, with those Reds to the right top pocket. And when a chance comes, you'd expect it to be a good one. Has he left anything up the table here? Maybe John can get to that Red at long range.
Yeah, it's a mistake from Lyu Haotian for sure to leave that on.
Going to say that, yeah. I mean, it's a fairly big area to get those Reds covered by the bunch.
Green ball.
Bit of pressure on this shot on the green though now, because this is not simple mid-range. Green, when respotted, is going to get in the way of Red to left middle. No. So he's kind of won the first exchange in safety, and now he's got to go on and press on and capitalise on the chance that's come his way because of it.
I think if you were a John Higgins fan, you'd have been cheered by the interview you did with Alan, because we've seen players, even winners, sort of be downbeat this week. But even though there were times when he struggled last night and he made a few errors and he wasn't clinical, clearly pleased to get the win. It was a tough encounter, and he's just looking at the positives, but he won't be looking at them missing that black. It's not the sort of ball you expect anyone to miss, let alone John Higgins.
No, just caught the near jaw, didn't it? Yeah, I couldn't imagine John missing those. Hand on the table, black off the spot, or being a bit above the usual line.
It was the Wuhan Open where he beat O'Sullivan. It was in the quarterfinals. Alicante beat him in the semis. He was a quarterfinalist at the European Masters. The last 16 in the international. So he's won quite a few matches in big events this season.
Yeah, he could really do with getting the black on his spot, I think. At the moment, you have to make very small value colours to follow the reds. Again, he's going up for a bulk colour here. I think he tried to go near the blue. Quite straight on that. It was a good queuing shot to screw back for the red.
18. 19.
I suppose he could play on the red up the table off the green, but he would be having to use the rest as a right-handed player. I've not seen him use his opposite hand to any degree in his career, so either that or we could try and make something happen at the once the red's behind the pink. I think he's doing the latter. I think he's trying to play off the cushion into the bunch. That's very good. I mean, he could hardly have played it better. Terrific shot.
22.
That was a positive shot to play. He could have just skirted around the issue and played the red on the cushion at the other end in bolt, but that wouldn't have really solved much in the long term. Short term game of a few points. Now he's put himself very much into a chance of winning the frame. Black on his spot here. Red surrounding pink and black. Great opportunity.
Yes, and John Higgins had the opportunity first up, but of course Mr. Black off the spot
30.
very unexpectedly. That's the thing. I said he looked positive coming in, and he did, but you know, it doesn't always take that long for that sort of bubble to be burst. This foot on the black was hard to explain, really.
Thirty-eight. 39.
Lyu Haotian has been in the ranking final, the 2019 Indian Open, lost to Matt Selt. Still a young man, he's only 26. We've seen him from a very young age when he was a wild card in various Chinese ranking events.
46.
He reached the quarterfinals in 2012 at the International
47.
Championship as a wild card. He was only 14.
I remember it very well. It's to Neil Robertson, and at that point you felt the sky was the limit, but he stopped playing actually after that for a while. Story goes that his headmaster persuaded him to start playing again.
54.
He went back to school after his early experiences. So he kind of come out of retirement at I think about age 15 or 16.
Traditionally the other way around, isn't it? Normally they're trying to stop you playing snooker.
Yeah, but he obviously had a very big talent for the game, and he's made a decent career. But victory this weekend for him would be the next step by some margin. Good start he's made.
Yeah, Higgins already needing snooker, so the miss on the black was costly for 4 times world champ.
62.
Not least because Lyu Haotian had made the safety error, leaving the red to the green pocket. But Higgins made little impact after that.
63. 70.
Well, that's the red that's been there all the way through the table. So he could have played it a lot earlier, but the shot he played was the right one. Now, of course, it's a question of how many he makes with the frame long since one. And for that Higgins miss. So he didn't push the boat out there. This was the black. Seen a couple go in off that jaw, but of course it's not right, and it didn't hit it well enough for it to drop.
In again on the pink for the century. Not quite, but a fine 89. The key thing is he punished the John Higgins miss on the black, which was very unexpected. And Lyu Haotian off and running here this evening, leading 1-0. Now, another match this evening is Tom Ford against Martin O'Donnell. They're just underway actually on table 2. Let's hear from the Leicester man now, Tom Ford, ahead of the match.
Tom, a late night finish last night. How are you feeling? You're nice and refreshed this morning?
Yeah, obviously I weren't this morning, but I am now. I've said it's one of them things you have to hang around and wait for the match to finish. I don't think we got on until 20-11, but luckily enough the game went quick between me and Ding. It was quite open and the game went well and we finished pretty quick in the end. So I know it was a late one, but I feel good today.
It was one of those matches we set up with a nice chat in here, and I kind of suggested that too. The touch players, beautiful touch players in amongst them. So did you enjoy the match, even although, yes, it was late?
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing Ding, you know it's going to be an open game. There's not going to be, the black's not going to be tied up, pink's not going to be tied up, so it's always going to be a nice open game. So when you get in, you can score. It's the same with Ding as well. He gets in, he can score. But he's always a nice player to play, Ding is, because he plays the game properly. And like I said, he's such a good player as well. It's just always nice when you come up against some players.
Just looking ahead to tonight, then you play Martin O'Donnell. It's a big occasion, obviously, because the winner will be in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Ramps up best of 9, big occasion. So you know, lots to play for tonight.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I'm playing really, really, really well. Best I've ever played. Thought I'd say that because he's practicing behind me. But no, it should be a good game. I mean, Martin's playing well, I'm playing okay. So hopefully it's a good game and we can both go out there and enjoy it.
Sure you will. All the best, Tom.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, this is what's happening in that match. Martin O'Donnell's won the first frame and he's 42-0 up in the second. Of course, he beat Luca Brissell in the previous round. He's had a really good season, back on the tour this season. And, he's had some big scalps already. He's beaten Higgins, for example. It's become awkward here, though. Very tough player to beat, as we know. The Ministry of Defence, they call him. So it's end of break, but a strong start from Martin O'Donnell. It's all live on Discovery Plus. John Higgins 0.
Thank you. Second frame.
Lyu Haotian
John
1
Higgins to break.
here as the last 16 gets underway. Gary Wilson we saw win earlier. I can tell you he'll be playing Thor Chiang Leong, better known as Rory Thor, who has brought the hammer down on Ashley Carty. 4-3. It took a while. It's just finished, so that means that and Senkam and Matt Selt in due course can start on table 4. Lyu Haotian in the first frame served notice to Higgins that if he makes elementary errors, they're going to be punished.
Get through to the putting angle, as you can see, the brown's not in the way of that. Oh, very good. He was right behind the line of it. Sometimes I think brown just being alongside it, but not in the way. It can be a bit of a guide to get the cue past the brown, and you fancy the putting angle comes more naturally. I think the bottom red is on, one directly above the black.
8. Starting ball.
Well, that was a very good chance. He was having to stretch across the table quite a lot on that shot.
Yeah, shaking his head. He's lost the cue ball. And that'll annoy him because it was his chance to strike back there after Lyu Haotian broke down unexpectedly.
Yeah, he can't cut this in. He's finished nowhere.
And Higgins 1.
A bit of a sickening bang of the table a few moments ago, and it was actually Anthony McGill on the next table who gave the snooker table a bit of a right hand and missed an easy ball. Not something I've ever seen him do before. I think it might be on the brink of him going 2-0 down, might be the clue.
Well, Lyu Haotian, I think, felt like doing similar there, missing that red.
Well, this is a good opportunity now. Yes, the blue is away from his spot, but there is a red over the pocket. Not an absolutely gilt-edged one just yet, but it is an in early in the second frame.
It's one of those intriguing sort of meetups between vastly experienced player and quite a rising star, because he's been around a while, but he's certainly a much younger man. I mean, John Higgins, by the time Lyu Haotian was born, had won 5 ranking titles. Plus, he's got 31 to his name in total, plus all the rest of things he's won. 54 titles in total in the professional game.
7.
I mean, look, the class of '92, Mark Williams, Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins, they're still terrific players. O'Sullivan, the UK champion just the other day, and British Open winner Mark Williams. No obvious decline in any of them, really. The odd little bit. But there's one thing that you cannot deny, is that at some point their game will decline, all 3 of them, because they can't go on forever. Much as we think they might, they just aren't going to. So at some point, the edge will go off of their games. John's might be going a little bit,
13.
but he's still good enough to beat most players on the tour.
Yeah, I think inconsistency has crept in, but certainly if he can produce his best, then he can absolutely beat anybody. It's whether he can do it match after match in a tournament. Which, as you get to the latter stages, of course, in theory, you've got to raise your game.
14.
I think he still enjoys it, though. And it's half the battle. There's been times in a long career where he enjoyed it more than other times, but right now he seems to be really enjoying it. He's got some of his family here tonight as well, which always makes a difference to how you want to play.
Certainly send out a message if he was to make it. Consider the score here, I think. Maybe to himself, as much as anyone else. And on comms for John's last 2 matches, and
21.
yes, he's got through. He was a bit annoyed with his win against Lyu Haotian the other night, with his 4-1 win. Didn't please him. He was more relieved at beating Ricky Walden. He knew would give him a very hard game. Went to a decider. Tonight is a similar story, really. A game that he would be expected to win, but knows he's not a certainty to win by any means. Well, top side of the blue.
28.
Yeah, but the angle he's got here, it could be he swings the cube around 2 cushions into the bunch. Certainly he can force it. Cube will go close to the left corner, or the bottom left as we look. Oh, too close to that corner pocket, actually. So he hasn't put the frame away by any means. If anything, he's left himself a little bit of a tricky safety shot now. Handy red to knock in that, even if it doesn't amount to anything. Round to middle, probably if he's got a shot to get down for a red, he'll play it. Rolling up to a colour wouldn't be necessarily a big advantage. The escape would be not a difficult one. Over on the left side, a choice of a couple of reds. Yeah, he's got the angle. Nice shot. Confidently played.
5.
Lyu Haotian made a bright start, but he's made a few errors since, it's got to be said. Now Higgins to regain his footing a little bit to that unexpected miss black off the spot in frame 1.
12.
So a key shot coming up here.
I think he'll just try and brush off the right side of the bunch and get 1 or 2 out. I think he'll go really hard into them, just nudge some balls into play. Oh goodness, though, that will make him incensed. Missing those.
No Higgins first.
It is the cardinal sin, really, in that shot to take your eye off or lose concentration on the pot. Especially when you're breaking the reds for your opponent then. Well now. Here's something. There's a good chance this. The first red goes in. And you could get right back into the frame here. Surprised he rolled it in. Especially with the black below its spot. I don't think he wanted to be on the black really. Anyway, still going. What a chance he's found himself with here.
It's a sort of position where
8.
boots on the other foot, you know, you'd fancy Higgins to make the clearance. Mr. Black, frame 1 is Mr. Pink, albeit thinking about cannon to the reds here. Could be punished for it. And as I say, Lyu Haotian himself had made a few errors prior to that, but he can forget all about them if he wins the frame here.
Wouldn't mind if you got an angle that was just off straight with the cue ball lower on that red, because then he could develop the other two and play out for blue or pink. So important shot positionally this one. I think that's all right. It's maybe a bit more up the table than this, but even then, whether he likes it or not, he gets the 2 reds out. Just wouldn't want to push the top red onto a cushion. That's the only problem. Well, he'll be furious about that because it may not show him much, but he will be annoyed. Again, thinking about other things, bringing the reds out. John's dodged a bullet there.
Well, Higgins has been given some help in this frame, it's got to be said, but he just wants to win it now. Red and black should do that.
9.
crowd happy to see it as well. A lot of support here, as you'd expect.
16.
Simon Anthony McGill representing Scotland in this tournament now.
17.
Amazing to think that despite Stephen Hendry's incredible record of success in the 90s,
24.
the first ranking event in Scotland wasn't until 1997. He'd already won 6 world titles. There'd been a lot of high prestige invitation events in Scotland prior to that. But it's always been
26.
an area of great interest for the sport, and of course the likes of Higgins coming through, Alan McManus, Steve Maguire, Chris Small, Graham Dott, all the players from Scotland who've won big tournaments since, kept that interest going. McGill, another one. High hopes for Liam Graham. Of course, he lost a bit of a heartbreaker last night to Sanderson Lamb. 1:30 in the morning, 4-3 from 3-1 up. It's happened to everyone, this man included. He's got to try and bounce back from adversity, which he's done in this frame. It wasn't a clean kill, but he's won it and he's on the scoreboard.
38.
I think you'll start to feel that he's settled into the match a bit better now. He looked edgy at first. Maybe the miss from Lyu Haotian helped him there, and he took advantage.
Yeah, John Higgins off and running. Lyu Haotian played a very good first frame. Mistakes crept in the second. So we're level at 1 each. In 2016, he'd love, of course, success on home soil. He'd love success full stop. His last ranking title win was in early 2021. He's had a few near misses since, and a lot of those near misses were 2 seasons ago, which means the points are coming off gradually during this season. So he's just slipped back to number 12 in the world, and obviously needs to keep his top 16 place for the Crucible. It's going to be in, looks like the first 2-player series event, so it's highly likely he will.
I'm sure he's still thinking about that red that he missed. Trying to count the 2 reds above it. And a great chance to lead 2-0, Lyu Haotian.
Yeah, Matt Hewitt is the rankings guru for the WPBSA, and he's got the provisional Crucible seedings, and that's just factoring in points coming off. Obviously, a lot of points can go on until April, so it can change. But Higgins is 12th on that list, actually, so Ireland's looking good. Neil Robertson 30th, believably.
It's not bad. Red has come down, but the black is covering it to the left middle.
It's a bit like the first frame in as much as reds have sort of scattered this one is Karen Wilson against Chris Wakelin. Wilson was 3-0 down earlier to Dave Gilbert, managed to turn it round. Wakelin had a great one actually over Sam Craigie, 4-0. Craigie played so well previous 2 rounds.
Priority again will be getting the cue back down the table. He couldn't pot it to the left middle. He hasn't got the cue ball back down the table though. Opened up things quite a lot. If he could have the shot again, he might have hoped to get the cue ball underneath that cushion more so than he has. Lyu Haotian might be able to raise the butt of the cue and send the cue ball back down to roughly where it is. Certainly back down to this cushion. As you can see, we'll raise the butt of the cue. It's the only way he can do it. He's going to play this red to the middle. It's a big shot to take on. Doing all kinds of damage if he misses it, but the rewards are going to be there if he gets it. Saying that, it was a little bit close to the right cushion.
He's got to be on something, hasn't he?
7.
You'd have thought so, but not so sure actually. I'm going to put the very first red on the right into the left middle. I'm not sure if anything's in the way of that. It may go. It's very tight.
Well, I think that'll make him feel good. He found sort of a bit of trouble out of nowhere. I mean, the reds are just set up nicely, but anything can go wrong at any time. But John Higgins was let off the hook a little bit, I think, in that second frame. Lyu Haotian did not repeat his performance of the first frame. Just gave Higgins enough chances, and maybe that's just settled Higgins now into the match. See the absolute focus there on his face as he played that pin.
14.
About his top 16
15.
place. He's been there since 1995 without ever dropping out. It's a record he'd love to extend. Consider all the players that have come down over that 30-year period. It's quite incredible. He said his ambition is to be there when he's 50. He'll be 49 next year.
21.
surprised if he wasn't still at the age of 50 able to compete at the highest level.
29.
And as I said earlier, at some point, surely everyone will decline in what they can do. I think he's not just going to disappear off the ranking list, is he? Much too good a player for that. And too feared and revered also amongst his fellow players. As I was saying, you know, on a good day, you wouldn't notice any difference from 20 years ago.
37.
Yeah, and we've seen that a few times this season. We've seen him produce his best. It's just, as I say, the consistency of them doing it round after round. It's maybe been an issue. We saw it at the UK Championship, actually played well against Joe O'Connor, and then was disappointing against Show You Long. Anyway, he's in a nice position here to take the lead in this match.
All the Reds now at the other end of the table still in play. So I'd like to think that he will go in and get the frame one here. Just landing on that red into the left middle. And suddenly he's rocking and rolling a bit now, isn't he, again?
61.
Pink puts John Higgins 68 in front with 67 on. And
68.
what he's done here is what he wasn't doing last night against Walden. He's actually taken the frame, it seems, in one visit. He was just sort of faltering when he got to 40 and 50 odd last night. Do with this in. Yeah, so it's one snooker. It's just, that'll annoy him because obviously Lyu Haotian comes back now. But Higgins, a good 68.
Yeah. Decent break. It was the first semblance of real queuing shot eventually that he missed, but you know, you can't argue with him polishing off as many as that, and now it's a snooker required.
other Scotsman in the field not going so well. Anthony McGill 3-0 down to Sanderson Lamb, who's really moved up a place this season. Match closing up on Senkamp and Matt Selt. That's 1-0 to Senkamp.
And if Sanderson and Lamb won that match against Anthony McGill, I thought it would be quite a big shock, wouldn't it? Especially at sort of as you get to a fairly sort of deep point in an event. And good luck to Sanderson Lamb should he win, because he's a nice lad and quite a good player. But you know, maybe a first round you might get a shock like that, but now we're getting into the event. He made it to tomorrow. That would be an effort. I think this frame is over. I think Lyu Haotian will concede.
Yeah, he's gone in off, left the red in the D.
Frame
So
conceded.
he has conceded the
Frame
frame. And John Higgins, helped by that earlier 68, has gone 2-1 in front. He could have been 2-0 down. Lyu Haotian will look back on that second frame at a few missed opportunities. And Higgins has hit the front. So John Higgins 2-1 up. We can hear more from the Scotsman now. A few snooker confessions.
What would your score
A
report?
lot of travelling, particularly now China's back on the snooker tour calendar, so to be here in Scotland with some of his family in attendance must be nice.
That's a very good putt. Knocked him one earlier, didn't he? He could just sneak past the brown ball. Starting to turn into a pretty good game. There have been balls missed, but now they're both warming to the task here. Earlier, he missed the ball into this pocket. Same thing. Divided concentration has done for him. He wouldn't miss that black if it was the last black, put it that way. He's thinking about what he's going to do with the cue ball. And again, not too much in the way of emotion from him, but inside I'm sure he's very disappointed. You could have done with the cue ball going a little further, but even then he could run this through and the red above the black. That would be his next pot with the rain. He's been prone to miss the odd one of these mid-range shots this week. It's been something of a test of his cueing. Expecting to miss it, but a few have gone astray. cue it because he's not over the top of the pack of reds as he might have been. He's perhaps not good queuing over the pink, but maybe get the spider out and get level with that bottom red. In fact, the pink itself might be the answer. The pink is the angle on the pink is just coming away from the reds a fraction. Squared in off the cushion. Good shot. Nicely done.
Yeah, it just seems to have grown the confidence as the match has gone on, and obviously been helped by the fact that Lyu Haotian has made a few errors as well, key moments, just to give him openings.
Forced it, didn't he? And he missed a black
On Higgins 18.
off the spot earlier on. Pink was on the black spot there. Same place he hit, but it was the extra effort I think he put in. He lost his accuracy on that one. Back to his chair and clearly disappointed without showing too much emotion again. Now, good shot this time from Lyu Haotian. Needs an angle on this black. That's good. Just where he wanted to be. I love the shot to break the reds open if there's nothing else that he can play directly. I think he's going to have to play it with a little bit of pace. Get into the edge of 8 reds here if he can. Ended up leaving perhaps a double. And the cube was run a bit too far for that even. well played. I don't think he's touching anything, so he'll have to just glance off and red up the table. Good look about it as well. That's a great safety shot, and that's covered everything. Lyu Haotian will need to be careful here. If he's rolling up to the half dozen reds, it would be hard to think that he wouldn't leave something for John. I don't think this is that easy. Not so much hitting the ball, but keeping things safe.
Yeah, see the great circumstance there, Higgins 94%.
Not bad, although there's always the problem there was going to be something going to go at. That's a red up the table, albeit with slightly awkward kill.
Movement in his eye line, obviously playing towards the audience, just taking their seat.
I don't know if it's his concentration that's weak or not, but there is movement. We can see it with our own eyes. But maybe there's quite the same level of in stop stewards and all that. I'm not too sure. It in a bad way. Needs to cover from the green. Definitely concentration wavering a bit. And it is there. I think he played further to the left. There was a red that went the bunch of five. The top red went into the right corner, but not at the speed he played it at. He played that nicely though. Nice recovery shot. And that red, of course, is still there if he can land on it this time. That was a more difficult shot than it looked.
14.
Right to the same pocket then at the bottom of the bench this time. You can see it sticking out of it. He's hit the ball nicely.
26. 27. 34. 35.
He just moved a couple of those reds. So perhaps get onto the right hand red into the right corner. Position would be to be very precise because you can play the nudge. Definitely got the angle to hit into the three balls and make them possible. Because that shot can go wrong. There's something in the red to the middle after all that.
42. 43.
He's kept this break going well and needs 2 more pots to make it 2 each. Double checking the scores, but that's the position if he puts this red Higgins and snookers. Yeah, he got himself together here, making a few errors prior to that, but could it be another decider on this table? There's something about table 1 today. We've got 2 4-3s already. She made an 89 break in the first frame. Made a couple of errors in the next 2 frames, but it's got to get back together again here.
73.
I mean, difficult to say who'll win because it's an argument that he's actually queuing a little better than John. He's a little bit more free-flowing than John in this break. He's missed a couple of shots when he's been thinking about position. Not in this break.
No, he's taken them very well.
84.
So, going for a 91 clearance. Yeah, nicely done from Lyu Haotian. With danger, John Higgins was taking control, but another close match here on table 1 today. All square at 2-2. So, we can just dip into the other tables. Tom Ford and Martin O'Donnell on table 2. It's 2-1 to O'Donnell, who's 27 in front here, 2 reds on. Tom Ford, of course, he got in the top 16, so he was seeded at the UK Championship, but when Ding beat him in the tournament, he was knocked out again, which means he won't be at the Masters. But he is having a good season, of course, runner-up in the International Championship. Has some good stuff. Beat Ding last night, which I'm sure was satisfying. Table 3, Anthony McGill, Sanderson Lamb, 3-1 to Lamb. It was 3-0. McGill's won the 4th. Of course, he's one of the 2 Scots players left in the tournament. John Higgins, obviously, the other one. But good battle there. Sanderson Lamb, of course, was 3-1 down last night to the 19-year-old Scot Liam Graham. Turned that round 4-3. He was 1:30 in the morning. Thankfully, though, he hasn't had to play again until tonight, so he had the whole day to get over that. He's having a good season, actually, Sanderson Lamb. On the table is Senkamp and Matt Selt, and that is 1 each, as you can see. Senkamp on the first, Selt the second. There are players here who have either won a tournament or are looking to win a tournament. Senkamp obviously been in a few semi-finals, but yet to really make the breakthrough. Matt Selt has won the Indian Open back in 2019. He beat Lyu Haotian in the final, actually. And of course, beat Mark Selby last night in a bit of a thriller. Selby lost the ground on the decider, which lasted 76 minutes. Barry Wilson in the practice room. He's getting ready for his match against Rory Thor later on this evening. Attempts to continue his title defence into the quarterfinals. It's all live. Discovery Plus, all these matches. Will be live until whatever time it finishes. Two. John Higgins had hit the front, but
Jones away straight away on the back of it. That nice break in the previous. Positionally, that was a good shot from Higgins as well. See the break-off shot, the end red, the bottom red, it absolutely flies up the table. And you see that shot, obviously every frame is played more shot than any other shot, but that red has just chased up the table after the cue ball in a way. John's last shot was not one of his better. Playing red here and it will into the bunch. End up a blessing in disguise if he gets the red open and gets on the colour. Yeah, he's not done that. That's horror. Horror story. Considering red to eat in the middle pocket there. Probably left middle. it? John got in and ended up getting himself snookered, and now the chances come straight back to Lyu Haotian. Very good. All the way. He's done it again. That's the third time he's made that same mistake. He's considering the position and he's missed the pot. All of them in the right corner. Two blacks and a red. And that's forgetting about the obvious bit and worrying about the follow-on point. And that's the position. It's a bad mistake to keep making.
Saw him in his chair and he was sort of looking at the other table. Not too happy, but a good chance comes along.
Eight.
Speed on the red, it was just through between pink and the bottom of the bunch. Right with it. See will go.
Nine.
Yeah, the manager's made it. Big moment, I think, this, because again, for that bad miss from Lyu Haotian, this really would never have happened. And inspired John if he can take advantage and might deflate Lyu. Yeah, getting onto his next red again is a problem. Red to left middle, I think he was looking at the start. Sure he'll do a play on that one. Seems to go.
16.
Again, it's the same thing as people being allowed in his eye line.
And you can sense that he doesn't want to be affected by it. He's not looking for a reason to.
Could you please quickly take your seats?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to get affected by it. I think he wants to blank it out, just ignore it. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. I know Mr. O'Sullivan.
Could you please take your seat?
We saw him, I think, in Brentford. He was doing his crust. Actually, everyone was moving around, and he just sat in his chair until it all ended. John doesn't want to do that. He wants to play. But he's definitely getting distracted. His concentration is not as it should be.
Well, this is the issue with multi-table events. You know, the one-table situation, the audience wouldn't be allowed in until the end of frame, but it's 4 tables, so it's not really practical.
And he will be
16.
very angry, I think. Very angry.
The thing is,
How much is he? But I can tell that his frustration is building.
it wasn't just one spectator, there was actually 3 lots of people there. And you can see, the picture tells its own story.
People are watching at home might think, well, you know, just had the snooker shootout and there's people shouting and waving their arms and all kinds of things. But, I don't know, people moving behind your eye line, it does take your eye off the shot, I have to say that. If you get the shootout, you have no choice but just get on with it. There's a lot going on. Anyway, moving on. That is a great shot from Lyu Haotian.
Well, the problem for Higgins was that had it just been one person, that would have been fine. But as I say, sort of got to wait 3 times anyway. He'll be coming back to the table soon, so it's not ideal. Played it well.
6.
Well, I'm sure he's picked up on the frustration of Higgins, so this is a moment to strike, really, in the match and indeed psychologically.
And what a chance this is, after all of that, all of the things that have happened in this frame. Significant error from both players.
He's sort of shaking his head. He's okay on the red.
25.
2 points in front.
Six.
think we'll actually go and respot it here. Nowhere else available. They either go on its spot or just below it. It's now what Lyu Haotian is now looking at the same thing. Can he ask the referee bring it in line? It's quite important where this goes because it might just tie up a couple of those reds.
32.
And the left-hand red of the three will pot anyhow. Maybe it will just be okay. It's not going to very good angle on this. And as a consequence, he's not right on the blue either. So it's just starting to unravel a little bit. Yes, he'll have a shot at this red, but he'll have to play it mid-range. Probably go into the red and the pink. Again, he's seeing a shot that can go wrong, especially Lyu Haotian struggles a bit when he's got more than one thing to think about on the shot. And here,
38.
the pot and the cannon. I've seen him miss 3 tonight like that. Easier than this. No, 2 at once.
40.
Which, the process that, was that an advantage? Either way would have required a left-hand red. But now he's not really got a way of getting on it because if the other had been on the table, he could have worked a plan out to be behind the red. Screw across. Pace. Not there. The double might be.
46.
It's a red ball frame, I feel. Whoever pots it in the frame. John even being behind. I think on its spot. I might fancy there's a way back into the frame if this double doesn't go in. Surely got to play it. Players these days do tend to take doubles like this on. Surprised he didn't play it. Maybe it's not his forte, knocking in doubles.
46.
It's not the worst shot in the world by any means. And he could have taken John Higgins out of the equation by knocking in the double. To hit either. Really needs to make good contact here and get lucky. Can't be sure where anything's going to finish. Oh. Well, that's one way of keeping the red safe.
The applause you can hear in the background is for Sanderson Lamb, who is going to be through to his first ever ranking event quarter-final. expense of Anthony McGill.
That's a shot, this one. Let's look at this one. Rolling this in. That is a magnificent shot. Yes, he flew the red. And that was all one thing, but the ball is just rolled in there. He's guaranteed to lose a frame should he miss it. And that's a major moment in this match because Lyu Haotian refused the double, which could have won in the frame without Higgins coming back. He didn't play a poor shot at all. In fact, it was a good shot. But again, it brings your opponent back to the table. And then you're at the lap of sort of fate, really, taking over. And it has.
Well, it's been an emotional roller coaster this frame for Higgins. He got a bit annoyed with his concentration being affected. It's that red to the left middle, same pocket, he's just knocked the green into. So a sudden turnaround. He was looking like he was struggling. Lyu Haotian was on top. Knocking that red in from out the snooker has changed everything, but the green as well. It wasn't just a fluke, it was the good pot on the green. Pink and black needed for a 3-2 lead.
A little bit strong in pace. A couple of times he's put these onto the, as we look, the left-hand jaw. I think fate, just seeing what's happened.
Middle bit this time. Well, what an eventful frame it was. It's gone to John Higgins. A big steal for him. Big round of applause for him here in Edinburgh as well. He leads 3-2 and he needs one more for victory. Coming up after this match, it'll be Kyron Wilson against Chris Wakelin. Let's learn a bit more about Kyron.
One. Nine.
Played it well.
Eight. 26.
So again, he's seeing a shot that can go. No, two pace. Not there. Oh. Well, that is back to the table. And then you're at the lap of
The green into. It's changed everything, but the green as well. It wasn't just a fluke. Middle bit this time. In the end, stolen by John Higgins. 3-2. He needs one more to advance to the quarterfinals of the Scottish Open. Haotian can feel a bit hard done by there, I suppose. He played the safety, which was a good one. Higgins flew the red, potted a very good green, then made the clearance. Haotian probably wishes he'd taken that double on now. 90 minutes the match has been going. It's been full of incident, been mistakes as well, but it's all added to the intrigue.
immediately. I think he can get through to this to pot it. John usually doesn't need a second invitation to win matches. get through. It must be tight though, because it's little winds. You might have to play with a trace of left-hand side to get round the ground board. Make the potting angle. That's really difficult.
Seven. Eight.
The other good thing about getting down to tomorrow, and especially Saturday and Sunday, is the four-table setup and the movement and things that could distract will be certainly minimal. Saturday there's just one table in here. Tomorrow there will be two tables
13.
used in the evening session. I think Dave mentioned that earlier. And you really will become concentrated around the main match, of course. It's what the
14.
players like Higgins, Sullivan has got here, of course, but generally the star players have always liked it. And there's just one table in there, when the Masters is so popular event. This will be so at the weekend. Event well worth winning. Full ranking event.
21.
Big prize money. The cut-off before some big events in the new year. Great opportunity for somebody.
Yes, I'm sure it would mean a lot to Higgins to win the Stephen Hendry Trophy. I'm sure there'll be a time when there'll be a trophy named after him.
Appears to have caught it with the transactional score. I don't know what his reaction would be if he was to win. I don't think he'll be overjoyed again, but if he keeps winning and not being happy, but he keeps on winning, he'll be the champion on Sunday. And the rest of it won't matter. He's clearly not playing at his absolute best, and not even close, but that's almost a compliment in there somewhere, isn't there? He can still beat players on this match, and he might be about to.
38.
legs and build a nice lead before disturbing them. Coming up to a key moment now. In terms of whether he wins the match here.
44.
Exactly what he did do.
Eight.
And of course, from Saturday, it's what the
40.
Yes, and I'm sure it will mean a
22.
lot to Higgins. A key moment now in terms of whether he wins the match here.
7. 28.
what a chance. And will be back together.
Establishment.
Who we know is a very up-and-coming player. Ricky Walden, he scraped through. It's going to be enough now. That red's gone in.
17.
So if you're looking at ranking titles to his name, he would dearly love. He didn't have it all his own way tonight, far from it, but he's got the job done.